for much of Oklahoma, it's going to be a hot, windy day. Now, there is a chance that we have severe storms later this afternoon. It's something we're watching very closely. Newest data pouring in right now. We're analyzing that. There's still a strong cap in place. There's still a 20% chance for most locations that a storm forms. But if one develops, it would be a dangerous situation for sure, with large hail, damaging winds, and a tornado threat that's the highest we've seen so far this season. But you got to get a storm to form first. That's between 4 and 10, between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. So overnight tonight, our chances are actually higher of getting storms, but the severe threat is lower. I'll talk about what I mean in that in just a minute. And then for today, what you need to know, we're in the warm sector. We all have extreme fire danger in western Oklahoma. Tonight, we're going to watch the cold front just along that as a line of storms start to form. When I say the warm sector, it's this region right here, ahead of the dry line, behind the warm front, where it's windy, it's hot, we're becoming unstable. Dry line just making its way into Harper County, quickly followed by the cold front. Right now, moisture is surging in. We've got some cloud cover. 69 with a strong south wind. Temperatures are definitely ramping up due to this wind. 30, 35, some gusts over 40. Temperatures 60s and low 70s currently, and we're warming to the mid and upper 80s later today. South winds will continue all afternoon, and for western Oklahoma, the dry line moves in. As it moves in, we're hot, very dry. Behind it, extreme fire danger, and ahead of that, just along and ahead of the dry line, that's where we have to closely monitor isolated storm chances. So the fire threat today, please don't burn. Please be very careful. It could be very dangerous if a fire were to get started. Our trackers will line up along the dry line today. We'll team up with our sister station in Tulsa to monitor the entire area, because if a storm starts to go today, it will go quickly, grow rapidly, and will go up spinning, which means it could crank out very large hail, damaging winds, and would pose a higher end tornado risk. But again, the chances are still very low. I think 1 or 2 storms, maybe 3. Most locations are dry. Today, the highest potential for the high-end severe weather is further north, and especially up into Kansas. Here's this tornado zone for today, just along the dry line, and then points to the east, which does include the Oklahoma City metro. The wind shear is a little bit more favorable for more of a longer track tornado the further north that you go, and this is something we have to watch. But really, any storm that can form in this zone would be dangerous today. Hail up to tennis ball size, and winds 65 to 75 miles per hour within that storm would be very possible. Here's how we're shaping up as far as future NEXTGEN is concerned. There's the storm system, the low pressure up to the north. Now quickly, I've just put on the river of moisture coming up and feeding into that storm by about 4 or 5 o'clock today. Razor fine line before we're very unstable, and then behind the dry line where we're not having any storms whatsoever. You're not going to see that, of course. What you will likely see is partly cloudy skies. What this particular data set has is between 4 o'clock and 8. This particular data set says the cap is so strong that we don't get a storm. Now, some data suggests we get 1 or 2 down that line. Still, the more likely scenario is that we have a storm or 2. The cold front swings in. It fires with a squall line that develops after 11 p.m. Storm chances go up in the metro with that, and those push off towards the east by tomorrow morning. So after we get through the daylight hours, we'll have to turn our attention back to the cold front with another risk for severe weather between 11 o'clock and 4 a.m. Those storm chances are higher. So instead of the 20% daytime storms, chances are about 60, 70, 80% off towards the east. And those storms would still pose a tornado risk along the cold front if storms can lunge out ahead of it. It's pretty low overall, that's for sure. But still, something you want to have that News 9 app with you and close to you tonight. Best thing, best case scenario, you get some wind, you get some hail, okay? And that's going to be possible up to golf balls further north. And then as far as winds go, still could have some 65-mile-an-hour winds in the metro overnight tonight, a little stronger up towards the northeast. So it's a wild setup today. It's something that you just need to make your plans, do your thing, but make sure you've got a way to get advisories and warnings and stay plugged into News 9. We'll have you covered. Storm chances go up tonight. We're dry for most of your weekend. Next chance of rain and storms will be Sunday night into Monday. Back to you guys.